Hi, my name's Moss Angel, and I'm going to be reading some pieces for you today from beautiful Olympia, Washington. I'm in a park by my house, and I'm going to read some pieces from a book project of mine called Sea Witch. This is from Sea Witch Volume 4, which will be out sometime. Sea Witch trans memoir Bone Death Never Tries. When I see a whale, I call it girl. I look at it in its eye as big as my fist, and I call it girl like I have nothing left in me. Everything I found when I left Sea Witch was colored like whale, covered in whale. I looked upon the landscape and called it girl. It's girl-colored mountains. It's whale-colored dirt. When I look at myself, I can't see what I look like. I try to remember if I ever saw what I looked like when I looked at myself, and I think I must have, at one point, known what I looked like, but I don't remember it clearly. It shifts with time, which is supremely fake. That's what I learned today, I think to myself. I learned that time is supremely fake. I no longer remember how many times I have left Sea Witch. I feel like I am always leaving Sea Witch. I do not remember the last time I returned, but I must always be returning because I am always leaving her. It hurts every time, and every time she tries to make it not hurt, but it hurts anyway. I can't imagine what it might feel like if she let it fully hurt. Maybe it would hurt exactly the same, maybe it would hurt more. I can't tell. I know that there is a threshold to hurting. But I know Sea Witch always tries. This time when I leave Sea Witch, I look at her and I call her girl. I look at the pain I'm having and I call it girl. I try to look at myself. I try to call myself girl, but the word gets stuck in my throat. I try to massage the word out of my throat, but I find there only thick arteries beneath the soft skin. I find there only flesh and buried bone beneath muscle and organ. I take a break from trying to call myself girl. I look at the ground and call it girl. Today I have the sun in me and see it in the sky, and I say hello and I call it girl. The warm breeze feels gentle on my skin, and I feel my feet walking me across the ground. I'm on a beach somewhere, and the view I see around me cuts me to pieces emotionally. My feet walk me across the beach emotionally. I look at the beach emotionally. I call it girl emotionally. I sit down emotionally. The sea is full of water, and water is always girl, always has been girl, so I get in the water. I get in the sea and bathe myself fully in girl. This is what today feels like, and maybe, just maybe, if I stay here, I could feel this way tomorrow as well. Maybe I could bathe myself clean each day, marinate and see in girl, and feel this way every day. Maybe I could look at the beach and call it home. Maybe it could teach me the meaning of girl, teach me the meaning of home. There's a dog on the beach, and I call to it. Here, girl. Good girl. Come here, girl. I notice the dog's vagina and stop calling it girl briefly because it no longer feels subversive. That's silly. I call it girl again as it nuzzles my face. The dog tells me where I am emotionally. The dog tells me emotionally where I am. The dog tells me emotionally where I am emotionally. I dig a hole in the sand and the dog digs with me. It is so emotional. The sky rains on me because I am a girl. I am wet, I am cold, and I call myself girl with the sun inside her. I am shivering. I call myself pretty. I fit perfectly into the hole. How can I sleep in the rain emotionally? This piece is called Bone Death, Evil Forest, Power Lines, Overnights. As we crested the rise in the freeway, we saw a lot containing trees laid ahead of us. In the lot was a whole scene. The lot and its trees filled with 66 candle witches scattered about the land, lighting the space full flicker, flicker, flicker. In one of the flickers I see you as a still body. Flicker, a body with no movement, a body in the mud, a body all mud-caked at the center of the lot ahead of our car. 66 candle witches' gaze lights flicker again. You are here again, seated next to me in the car. Mud is empty. Probably in my head is all. I'm sorry. Okay. 1. When I left Sea Witch, I entered a vast desert. I survived on the thorny flesh of succulents and completely drained the battery on my 3DS. I dug holes looking for water. 2. I did not find any water. I found a note scratched onto a scrap of decaying wallpaper. 3. The note said, "It's all about the heart, never. Stay in love forever." It was unsigned. 4. I found a structure in the desert. Maybe it was more like ruins. Under a crumbling floor stone, I found a smashed wristwatch, a dried rose, a Lego person, and a red key. 5. I laid on the sand and created next to me a tiny village of sand. Everything in this village looked like a small mound of sand. There was a house that looked like a small mound of sand, a post office that looked like a small mound of sand, a T-Mobile store that looked like a small mound of sand, a church that looked like a small mound of sand, a girl that looked like a small mound of sand, and her dog that looked like a small mound of sand, her stepfather, who is old and lost his glasses too frequently, who looked like a small mound of sand, a deli, a food co-op, a dresser, a vape shop, a ghost. You could tell them apart by where they were in relation to each other in physical, two-dimensional space. You could tell them apart by the looks on their faces. 6. I drank my own piss to live. I began to get very hungry. 6, I started thinking about fire. If I cooked my own arm and cauterized the stump, that could be a few meals, right? Just kidding. Lol. I went back to my small village. The deli counter girl was cheating on her boyfriend with the librarian. Everyone was jealous. I mean, have you even met the librarian? So cute. Cutest little mound of sand ever. 6, I started eating parts of my village. I don't know, I was just kind of seeing if my mouth still worked. 7, you expect me to die at this point. 7, it takes a lot to make a body actually die. 8, but then again, sometimes it doesn't take much at all. 9, I grow taller when I breathe in. As I breathe out, my body retracts. 10, each day is a blessing. 11, days are the comparison of the Earth's orbit around the sun to activities and events that happen on the Earth's surface, but you cannot reliably compare the lengths of two events that are happening at the same time. Two events that start and end simultaneously are not necessarily going to be the same duration. This isn't science. This is experience. 10, each day is a blessing. 13, a plant doesn't know how tall it will grow. It just trusts the cells to take it toward the light. I'm sorry. Okay. I am in the mud. I have lost our car from around me. Candle witches approach from every direction. The formerly full flicker lot has dimmed immensely. There isn't enough light to see by. A cloud passes over the moon.